Video number 16, Justice Will Be Served for Daniel. Hi, it's Kathleen, I'm back. If you have been able to watch my videos 1 through 15, Justice was not served for Daniel, you can now hear Justice Will Be Served for Daniel. Although this is my final video, I want the people listening to know this does not mean my advocating for my son and other consumers is over. It just means my son's story has been put out there to the best of my ability to rise to the occasion of allowing the public to hear his story on his group home journey and the pitfalls he faced along with the family in a broken system. First, I want to thank all the people on Facebook and YouTube for watching, listening, and sharing my videos. I am hoping you will continue to share with family and friends the importance of advocating for our disabled, elderly, and all the children of the world that are put in harm's way due to the incompetent people we have put in power positions yesterday, today, and the tomorrows that will come. My videos reflect on the adversity, trials, and obstacles Daniel faced in a falling, broken system that failed to do the job that they were committed to do, and that was to serve and protect our most vulnerable. By listening to these videos, you can get a clear picture of what I was facing back when Daniel was in a residence in New York City with all the corruption that was going on back then with these so-called politicians. You can figure it out that many of these allegations and acts of deceit were well hidden back then, but so thankful today's technology has given so much more access to these immoral bastards out there. Make no mistake, it will still continue. Today we have the Me Too movement. What about the movement for my son and other consumers that have been put in sexual situations or assaulted that they were completely defenseless? For instance, back in the late 90s when Daniel was in his group home in New York City run by UCP, he was told and assisted by 2 women staff members to undress with a woman consumer, name withheld, and put together in the bed to see if they would have sexual activity. How did I know? My son told me. And when I confronted the staff, it was admitted they were aware, no report written, no alert written, and the administration went on deaf ears. What about did you forget about us two movement? For his voice to be heard. My son did not have a platform or stage like these women of star status have today, and I am appalled how it is being abused and made a mockery of by some of these alleged abused victims that walk around with their breast hanging out, and that's saying it lightly. I am now 71, and my videos are to make a statement. You are never too old to advocate for your loved ones. I implore anyone that has a child, adult, or friend that is subjected to being in harm's way to speak up, scream, or go out of your character. Do anything to be heard and get the attention you need. Video number 14, I talked about life with Daniel after I brought him back home with the family and out of the group home. The bad apples in the administration, UCP, now called ADAPT, Executive Director Edward R. Matthews and Director of Residences Linda B. Lawal were still allowed to continue in their power jobs and move forward with no repercussions while my son lost his 30-year program and his group home setting. The end of my videos do not stop my son's voice from being heard, that I promise. I realize there are parts of my videos that seem harsh, but I did not put them out there or myself to make friends. The journey I traveled with Daniel was done with blood, sweat, and many tears that came along with anger, pain, disappointment, and confusion, and so many whys and ifs. After Daniel was back home in 1999, life was so much calmer, even joyful at times. I was so thankful for that. My biggest regret, and I had many, was ever allowing my son to join the group home to begin with. 6 years passed in 2006, and my husband fell and passed away from that fall. Daniel took it exceptionally hard because he was so close to his dad. Almost a year to the date after my husband passed, Daniel was diagnosed with kidney cancer. He had a large tumor on his right kidney, and it needed to be removed. After the total shock hit me, the doctor informed me the kidney also needed to come out. With all my son went through, he was now on another journey to survival. The operation lasted 11 hours because they had a problem taking it out. After the surgery, Daniel was smiling, always smiling. His recovery time was 1 year and very painful. The doctor informed me he was confident the cancer was contained only to the kidney, but expressed that Daniel still needed to be closely watched. The pathology report came back with good news, and life was going to be good again. For 1 year and 2 MRIs later, everything seemed okay. Then on another MRI visit, it showed up with a few spots in Daniel's lung. I was told not to panic, but I did. The doctor said it was not a concern to please have faith. The next MRI showed more spots. Now I had extreme panic. The true fact was the cancer spread and it would not stop. 3 long years of chemo that left my son, who was a strong, healthy, loving soul, a sick, frail image of himself. Daniel passed on January 9th, 2010 at 4:38 a.m. in the morning in Sloan Kettering Hospital in New York City. The worst day of my life and his sister's life. Daniel's passing did not stop me from being his advocate, but most of all, his mom. You see, Mr. Executive Director Edward R. Matthews, what you created because of your power playing and not working along with me as a mother who loves her child and wanted to make things better and safer for him and the consumers. But then again, you never wanted Daniel to join a group home since the very start of his journey. Why? Because you were a pompous bastard. It's been 19 years since I removed Daniel from the New York residence. Although the years have passed, my commitment never wavered to be an advocate for my son and the consumers. God has given me the tool I needed to move on, and that was my voice, to advocate for our most vulnerable children. It is never too late to use the power of my voice over the power of money to continue to put the word out. The truth does prevail. Age does not stop a committed family member like me or any other family member from continuing sharing their voices. Some things are worth the wait. My fight for justice was it. As long as we have faith, hope, love, and a voice, we can change the life of our loved ones. God bless you all. Luke 18, 1-8. One day, Jesus told his disciples a story to show that they should always pray and never give up. There was a judge in a certain city, he said, who neither feared God nor cared about people. A widow of that city came to him, repeatedly saying, "Give me justice in this dispute with my enemy." The judge ignored her for a while, but finally he said to himself, "I don't fear God or care about people, but this woman is driving me crazy. I'm going to see that she gets justice, because she's wearing me out with her constant request." Then the Lord said, "Learn a lesson from this unjust judge. Even he rendered a just decision in the end. So don't you think God will surely give justice to his chosen people who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will grant justice to them quickly. But when the Son of Man returns, how many will he find on the earth who have faith?"